Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. My name's Don Arleth, and you're watching a Midday Report here on TVP World, where we track the day's most important stories. Donald Trump has reignited his long-standing interest in Greenland, repeatedly stressing its strategic importance since returning to the White House earlier this year. His administration is now pushing harder than ever, appointing a special envoy to advance U.S. influence over the vast Arctic territory, sparking outrage in Copenhagen.
We need Greenland. The incredible people of Greenland will go as far as we have to go. We need Greenland. But we've been dealing with Denmark, we've been dealing with Greenland, and we have to do it.
It was a message regularly repeated after Donald Trump returned to the White House earlier this year. Trump has often floated the idea of the US taking control of the autonomous Danish territory, citing its mineral resources and strategic location. His administration has pushed to fast-track US exploration of the Arctic, prompting international concern. In March, Vice President J.D. Vance visited the remote northerly US base in Butefjord. Now, Donald Trump has ramped up the pressure, naming Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry as special envoy to the vast island.
I am pleased to announce that I am appointing the great governor of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, as the United States Special Envoy to Greenland. Jeff understands how essential Greenland is to our national security and will strongly advance our country's interests for the safety, security, and survival of our allies, and indeed, the world.
Landry, seen here in a dark shirt and cap, welcomed his mission to make the territory part of America.
It's an honor to serve you in this volunteer position to make Greenland a part of the U.S.
Denmark's foreign minister on Monday told broadcaster TV2 that he was particularly upset by Landry's comments about making Danish territory part of the United States. He told Reuters,
"The appointment confirms the continued American interest in Greenland. However, we insist that everyone, including the U.S., must show respect for the territorial integrity of the Kingdom of Denmark."
In August, Danish public broadcaster DR cited unnamed sources as saying the government believed at least 3 Americans had been involved in influence operations aimed at promoting Greenland's succession from Denmark to the United States. How Landry aims to achieve his goal remains to be seen.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy says he's waiting for a report on crucial negotiations held in Miami. Sunday's talks in Florida marked the latest round of U.S., Russian, and Ukrainian negotiations on a now 20-point peace plan, knocked down from 28 points proposed by Donald Trump to end the nearly 4-year war.
According to the US and Ukrainian envoys, the Miami peace talks were productive and constructive, but fell short of a breakthrough.
Over the last 2 days in Florida, the Russian Special Envoy Kirill Dmitriev held productive and constructive meetings with the American delegation to advance President Trump's peace plan on Ukraine.
The meeting was the latest in the string of diplomatic activities sparked by the leaking of a 28-point US peace plan, which shocked Ukraine and its European allies for appearing to favor Russia.
Work on the documents on ending the war, on security guarantees, and on reconstruction is ongoing. They are going through each point in detail, and there is constructive engagement with the American side. This is important. They are also discussing timing, possible timeframes for specific decisions.
Some of the most important issues remain a point of contention.
The sides have not reaching compromises on the most essential things. And I would say that, when we go in more details, when we see that, for example, State Secretary from the US, Marco Rubio, says that 90% of issues I agreed, but only 10% remain. But, if you look at these issues, the 10% is the essential issues because they concern the territories, they concern the issues about Ukraine's sovereignty, security guarantees, and so on.
Many experts believe that the ball is now in Russia's court, and there is only so much Ukraine can agree to on its own. In the aftermath of the talks, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham said that Washington should dramatically escalate pressure on Moscow, even going as far as supplying Ukraine with Tomahawk cruise missiles if Putin refuses to accept a negotiated settlement.
We keep engaging Russia, and he rebuffs all of our efforts. If Putin says no, we need to dramatically change the game, including giving Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine to hit the drone and missile factories that exist in Russia. I would go all in if Putin says no.
The Pentagon has indicated it has sufficient inventory if a political decision is made to transfer the weapons. President Trump, however, said he wasn't planning to provide Ukraine with the long-range missiles.
Need to find the nearest bomb shelter in a hurry? Well, there's an app for that. A new app being rolled out today shares the location of public bomb shelters across Poland to help citizens seek safety during emergencies. This comes amid increasing Russian hybrid attacks on countries across the EU and warnings of future Russian aggression against countries on the eastern flank.
Where is the nearest bomb shelter? Ask people on the streets of Warsaw, and the answer is nearly universal.
I don't know.
I don't have an idea.
I don't know. If I had to guess, probably I would say the metro station right there.
Actually, no. Warsaw metro stations are not designated as bomb shelters. To help people find actual shelters, the Polish government has launched an app to do just that. Called Gdzie się ukryć, or Where to Hide, the app aims to increase awareness of where people should go in case of an attack. With the war in Ukraine spilling over across the border with Russian drones occasionally violating Polish airspace, the need for shelters has become apparent. However, criticism has swelled as Poland's bomb shelter infrastructure is aging and has hardly been expanded since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. In the capital Warsaw alone, around half of the inspected sites have so far not passed security requirements. Still, people knowing where to go is a step in the right direction.
I would probably download it. It's always worth having.
I would 100% download it to quickly know where to go. I'm from Ukraine, I know what it's like.
The Polish government has indicated it has earmarked €1 billion to improve its shelter infrastructure in 2026. The app, as of the preparing of this report, is only available in Polish.
Anti-EU sentiment is on the rise here in Poland. Nearly 1 in 4 Poles would vote to leave the European Union if a referendum were to be held tomorrow, according to a new IBRiS poll for Wirtualna Polska. More than 65% of respondents say they support remaining in the bloc. More than 48% of respondents were strongly against leaving the EU, and another 17% said they were rather against the idea. Supporters of right-wing Law and Justice Party had the most negative view of the bloc, with 47% supporting a poll exit, including 29% strongly supporting leaving the EU. Respondents leaning centrist of left-wing, including supporters of parties like Civic Coalition, New Left, and Third Way, were firmly pro-European, with more than 83% against a poll exit. Age was also a factor, with younger polls showing more pro-European tendencies. More than 60% of respondents aged 19 to 29 were strongly against leaving the European Union. European natural gas prices have dropped to their lowest level since February of last year, driven by U.S. LNG imports and expectations of a supply glut in 2026. For countries like Poland, that's welcome news, as gas demand is projected to peak near the end of this decade before gradually declining.
This is an LNG terminal in Świnoujście in northern Poland. Able to receive super-chilled natural gas from the other side of the world, facilities like these are the reason why Europe is enjoying the lowest natural gas prices since early last year. What's even more remarkable, the price is going down despite Europe having less fuel in storage now than it had in previous years. The main culprit? American LNG. Europe has ramped up import of the stuff, and now the US is responsible for 3/5 of the continent's LNG supply. With new LNG facilities expected to come online in the US, the country's export capacity is only going to go up. That's good news for countries like Poland, with natural gas consumption peaking around 2030 and decreasing further down the road. Adding to the situation is Asia, where Russia is desperate to offload more LNG and China buying twice as much of the fuel from Moscow than in the year prior.
Budget talks in the French Parliament have collapsed as senior MPs and senators on the Joint Committee failed to bridge their differences. With the end of the year fast approaching, no deal will be reached in 2025, a major setback for Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu. The disagreements preventing a budget deal in the French Parliament revolved around financial and social considerations. Jean-François Husson, an MP from the Republicans and the General Rapporteur for the budget in the National Assembly, said that the proposed 10 billion euros sent by the government was unexpected and unworkable. Thierry Kosik, a Socialist Party MP, said he was concerned that the budget proposals did not ask high earners and large corporations to contribute enough to the general welfare. Philippe Juvin, another Republican MP, said until a new budget is voted in, they will have to rely on transitional law. Poland, long known for snowy winters, just logged its warmest December in over 70 years, without a single day below the seasonal norm. Now meteorologists warn a cold front may be on the horizon, leaving many wondering what's happening to the climate and what it means for the months ahead.
Poland, a country known for reliable snow in winter, has just experienced its warmest December in more than 7 decades, with record-breaking temperatures and not a single day below the long-term norm. But meteorologists are warning that a cold front could soon hit Poland, leaving many people confused and wondering what's really happening with the climate and what it means for the months ahead.
It means that that we can expect both the air from the north, very cold, and air from the north, but also very hot air from the south, not the regular temperature during all the winters.
It also raised the question of what's causing this sudden swing from unusual warmth to winter chill.
It is connected also in some extent to the climate crisis, because the weather in Europe, especially in winter and in summer, depends on something which is called jet stream,
which is a fast-flowing, narrow air current in the Earth's atmosphere, steering storms and influencing temperature patterns. This jet stream steers cold Arctic air away from Poland, resulting in warmer, drier winters with less snow, despite occasional heavy snow appearing in the country. But even without snow, thanks to the dazzling light displays and winter entertainment, to the bustling Christmas markets offering mulled wine and carols, Poland has already transformed into a winter wonderland that captivates locals and visitors alike and keeps that warm holiday feel.
Well, maybe a bit. I would definitely enjoy the Christmas market with the snow more than now, but in total, I would say it's still pretty good.
But Christmas may still be white in Poland this year, as forecasts show average minimum temperatures dropping to -6 degrees Celsius in the mountain regions, lasting from the last week of December through January 4th.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm certainly hoping for a white Christmas. Well, that's all the time we have here on Midday Report. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.